Welcome back to Cyber Stuff XR. I'm here with Harry, and today we're going to be ranking the most anticipated upcoming video games. Okay, so let's start with God of War Ragnarok. Where do you think you'd put that?
I personally would probably give it ecstatic straight away. I thought the first game was incredible.
I do agree that the first game, it was incredible, of course. For me, I don't know how much of a step up it's going to be. I wouldn't say I'm ecstatic for it, but I'm going to put it in there just because, I know it's going to be good. It's guaranteed going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's a continuation of the first game's really good story, so yeah,
to make it bad would be a challenge.
It would be a big challenge, yeah.
Even if they just continued the same thing, I'd still give it at least a 9 out of 10 probably.
Yeah.
If they just done the same thing again.
Yeah, so, nothing groundbreaking, but the first game just set the standard so high.
Exactly.
Atomic Heart. So this is kind of a lesser known, I'd say AA title. I wouldn't quite call it AAA. I think it's from watching the trailer, it looks like the voices were originally Russian and they've actually dubbed it for English because I thought the facial animations were a bit off.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've just watched it for the first time and it seems pretty good. It gives me weird kind of mixture of cyberpunk but with a different.
It's kind of steampunk, futuristic.
Yeah.
It's set in this world where the Soviets won I'd assume the Cold War.
I don't really know where I'd put it. I've maybe very excited, the lower end of it.
From what we've seen, we have seen a lot of it, unlike the rest of a lot of these titles. Yeah. So I think it earns very excited.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Spider-Man.
Where would you put it? Because I instantly would put it just above God of War. But
really,
yeah, definitely. I think I absolutely loved the first one so much, and Miles Morales felt like it was the first one, but built on a bit. And my only complaint is that it wasn't longer. I really like both games. Yeah, I didn't get too many bugs or anything. I know you had a couple, but I didn't.
They didn't impact much, really.
Yeah, I'm happy to lower it a little bit lower if you want to get an average of both of us.
I'd say I'm not as excited for it as God of War, just because I think God of War has the potential to be something massive. Like, this is Ragnarok, the culmination of, this is the world-changing event, the World Serpent, Thor.
It's the biggest event of all quality. It's the biggest you can get, so yeah, to be fair.
And God of War, this is kind of a new franchise. These aren't adapted superheroes. It's less kind of predictable.
Exactly.
So,
you can predict what's going to happen to some extent.
I think I'd definitely put God of War higher. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, that's good. It can go as long as it's
it's in the same category. Okay, Bonelab. So it's probably the least known title on this list, but it's still very popular. This is a VR title. So Bonelab is actually the sequel to Boneworks, which released in 2019, I think. That was only on PC because of the physics limitations, and of course VR is really hard to run. So now they've gone and made this sequel, which is actually going to be on the standalone Oculus Quest 2.
Yes. Which is good for most people.
Yeah, it's quite impressive, but the creator, or the lead developer, said that the Quest 2 is really only limited by its graphics card rather than the processor.
Yeah, definitely.
So I wouldn't quite go ecstatic because I've played Boneworks. I don't see it going too far beyond that, especially since it's now reaching for a standalone platform. Still very excited. And you haven't played Boneworks because your PC, you've yet to upgrade.
Yeah, I still haven't got a good enough graphics card, but I've got a Quest 2, so I'll be looking forward to Bonelab, and I think very excited is a fair spot for it.
Yeah,
I think.
I put it above Atomic Heart.
Yeah, from what we've seen. And also, it's sequels have a bit of an advantage, I find, in these, because if you've had a first game that's really successful, God of War Ragnarok or Spider-Man, Spider-Man, to be fair, I think people would still be excited, but God of War Ragnarok, if it didn't have its games before it, it would be like, that's cool, but it wouldn't be an ecstatic. It's because it's got that baseline, is what makes it get pushed up. So.
Forspoken. I've heard of it before. Harry had not. We saw it. Looked great in our opinion.
From just the trailers alone, there's a vague mention of the story, which it looks fine. I mean, I can't pick out anything that's bad or incredible, but the gameplay looks really cool. The combat, the kind of magical style,
but the world design was kind of samey.
Yeah, there were. I mean, I found the more naturistic scenes with the
really
massive
nice.
fields and open-ended kind of thing. They looked really good, and then the kind of indoorsy, temple-looking things looked all right. Nothing crazy, but I think the outside scenes looked really good.
I got a lot of Elden Ring.
It's got good potential.
Yeah, as you said, the environment. It's like the outdoor environment. Kind of, I mean, that's the best looking part, and that the kind of disjointed structures kind of remind me of Elden Ring. Same with the combat. A
little bit of a reminder of Shadow of the Colossus, fighting big beasts and being quite small. They're very not too much of a connection, but it reminded me of that, and that was a pretty good game. So I'd say above Atomic Heart from what I've seen.
Oh really?
But maybe because
I mean, we've seen more of Atomic Heart.
That's a tough part, actually. Yeah, I don't know. I'd put it very excited. Where on it is the question for me. But what about you?
I don't know. Just because we don't know much about the story, or I mean, it's coming out quite soon, October.
Yeah, I mean, we could put it right at the top.
I put it right at the top. Cautiously optimistic isn't bad at all.
No,
that's just looking forward to it. Don't know really much about it. Could be really good. Could be just decent.
It's a story game. If the story isn't very good and the gameplay's amazing, if the story isn't very good and it's a story game, it's gonna make it not very good. So,
okay.
Yeah,
I think that's a fair spot. Yeah, and Gotham Knights, quite anticipated, but we watched the trailer. Didn't see the appeal.
Doubtful. Don't care. I mean, we could be slightly biased. We're both Marvel watchers generally.
More Marvel oriented.
Yeah,
but I lied to either side. I was a massive fan of Joker. Might be my favorite superhero, kind of superhero film.
Yeah, I always disliked DC movies, and then I watched the Joker, and I was like, "Wow, that was good."
Yeah, so, it's kind of the direction they need to go in. This is, of course, separate from that.
I'll give it a chance. Obviously,
I don't know.
If it comes out and it gets some reviews, then different story. But from what I've seen, it's a bit.
Honestly, I don't really care.
Yeah.
There's another DC title on this list that looks much better.
Yeah. So in comparison,
I don't care. I mean, don't care just means it's not really doesn't appeal to us. It could be great. This is a list of this isn't a list of what we think is going to be necessarily really good. It's just what we're personally excited for.
We are excited for, and that's why we're going to have the ones of that are sequels right at the top. It's just what we're excited for.
Okay, from the developers of Hitman, Project 007.
Yeah, so the old games I never played, but I heard from some people people that played games a long time ago that it's the old ones were very good, is what I've heard for their time. They were very good games.
Really high rated on Metacritic as well. I think it's GoldenEye.
I never played them, and we spoke about Hitman developers, and they kind of seem to be moving slowly in the wrong direction in terms of their.
Yeah, I wasn't too happy with their PC release schedule. Like pushing the VR version back a year and then it not even being good.
Yeah, and then it wasn't good at all. And then Epic Games exclusivity, which
wasn't nice.
I don't know if that bothers people, but we're not a big fan. Just a bit annoying. It doesn't ruin the game at all, but it's just kind of annoying to us.
Yeah, I'm kind of the opinion that was for funding issues, because I don't know if you know this, but Hitman 1 and 2 were not financial successes. And they they relied on Hitman 3. So they kind of needed this money to fund the development. And when that game was the biggest digital release in their history, they could never have predicted that. But then after they had this huge release, massive critical acclaim, the game's post-launch content really hasn't been good. And I guess that could be because of Project 007, but it's so early in development that I don't know how much of their team is dedicated to it.
Yeah.
It's just they've been doing some not favourable stuff, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'd still go cautiously optimistic, but we've seen nothing. So
not doubtful, but there's just no information.
Suicide Squad, had a quick watch at this. What did you think?
Yeah. Gave me weird kind of, I don't know if people played the Guardians of the Galaxy game, kind of a weird, different version of that.
Kind of like the disjointed team dynamic.
Yeah, and like the kind of humour mixed with massive combat, I found in the trailer, which could work well, definitely. I feel like if it's done wrong, it might make it a bit kind of, cringy, a bit less enjoyable. But I think if done right, it could be good.
I mean, the voice actors seem good so far. I think
they seem decent. Yeah. There was that guy. We didn't know the character's name, but he.
Yeah, we're not huge DC fans, so I'm sorry if this offends some of you.
But there was some guy who was recording it on a phone, and he seemed like a decent character. I mean, the voice acting was good. And then there's Harley Quinn, which obviously looks very different to the movies. I'm guessing more comic accurate, but Harley Quinn's a cool character. So yeah, I mean, I don't see why it couldn't be good. Probably, I'd say cautiously optimistic. I don't know where in there, but I don't know, what would you say? Could get bumped up, maybe.
I'd go middle of the two.
That was exactly what I was thinking.
Hogwarts Legacy, another massive title set to release still this year, right? They've been constantly reaffirming that it's releasing this year.
Yeah, they released a trailer of, what was it, a couple of months back?
Yeah, there were some rumours just before then as well that it had been delayed. So
yeah, and then they kind of yeah, fingers crossed, and it looks good.
Yeah, the trailer looked very good.
Yeah, obviously there's a chance that it might not click, and there's a chance that it might not be perfect, but from what we can see, there's no reason to think that.
I just love that you can have this huge Hogwarts open world RPG, build your own character. That's kind of what I wanted from the... They released this rubbish mobile game.
Oh yeah,
the loads of microtransactions. That's what I wanted from this game. That was so linear.
Of a classic kind of, yeah, you know, like the episode choose your story mobile games. It was essentially one of those, but Harry Potter.
Yeah, this does look really good. It's kind of everything I dreamt of.
It's like when you played the Lego games before, and it's kind of that you feel like revamp. And
if we went back to those today, they'd probably be a bit boring.
Oh,
this is kind of what we imagined those being when we first played them.
So I think it could be good. And I think having the option to play as that kind of good or evil character is a very...
It depends on how much choice they actually give you. I think that will make or break the game.
That could... I mean, if they manage to do... You can literally choose to be a great person or a horrific person, and it's completely different.
Don't know if they're going to have multiple endings or... I'd assume
Who knows,
so.
Yeah.
I'd assume
Unless it will just be... You get a different character arc in terms of the... if you pick a bad ending, you have to become good, and if you pick a good one, then there might be some mishaps on the way, or the general ending could be the same. Who knows? But
for me, I'd go ecstatic.
Yeah, I'd say for me, I'd put it below those two, ecstatic.
I'd probably put it. I'm not gonna lie, it's probably above both for me.
You can put it at the top if you want. I'm not too against it.
No, I'll keep it there because these go hand in hand, really.
Yeah, I did.
And this isn't like, I'm not set on this being the #1 because I've got another game on this list that will take that place.
You do, so yeah. Right,
it's not coming up just yet, but Zelda Breath of the Wild, haven't played the first one, but Harry has.
Right, so. I can talk. I absolutely love this game. The first one, anyways. I got a Nintendo Switch, and it was the first game I got on it other than Mario Kart, and I have played it for... I don't know, I'm talking over 100 hours, which for me...
So this is your Cyberpunk.
Yeah, so for me, I'm the type of person to get through the main story and then do a couple side quests and leave it forever. It was one of the only games where I've played it over and over and over and just done everything. And it's so good. Every part of it, I mean, I would put it...
would you put it at the top?
My #1 on the whole list. But because you haven't got an opinion, I'd happily put it at the lower end of ecstatic.
Redfall. I know a lot of people are excited for this from Arcane Studios, creators of Deathloop and both Dishonored games. Harry hasn't had much experience with Arcane.
No, I don't know too much. I'll leave this one more down to you, like you did with the last one to me.
I've played Deathloop, and that was kind of... Didn't Deathloop get almost the best reviews? It didn't...
It got...
For some reason it didn't... Yeah, it got a lot of 10 out of 10s. Didn't get that many Game of the Year awards though. Not really at all.
Who was it against?
2021. This was 2020 was such a good year that kind of overshadows it completely.
2020. I think of games and I instantly think,
Half-Life Alyx,
Half-Life
Cyberpunk,
Alyx,
Last of Us 2.
Last of Us 2.
So many massive games.
At the same time.
Yeah.
2021, there's Resident Evil.
Oh right.
Which did that win any?
Yes, it did. What won the overall? Oh, It Takes Two. Yes, we loved that game. We played that co-op.
We played that. That was very good. Yeah,
anyway, we kind of got sidetracked there.
Yeah. Back to the main point.
Deathloop. I was talking about that because I don't think it's a 10 out of 10 game. I think it's an 8 out of 10 at best.
Yeah, did you even finish it in the end?
I didn't.
No. Yeah.
I did get bored of it. I thought the combat was good, graphics, art style was really nice. Didn't really get the gameplay loop because it was kind of like this time loop thing. Story was fine, but the kind of structure of the game just threw me for a loop. I thought the voice actors were really good. The voice actor of the antagonist is actually voice actor of Alex from Half-Life Alyx. So that was nice.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah.
I wouldn't say doubtful. I don't know actually. It's not coming to the PlayStation platform. It should be. I think it's Xbox
Probably
and
be
PC.
Xbox and PC. Yeah.
So Xbox console exclusive. I don't know. I'd almost want to go doubtful, but I know Arcane Studios is highly regarded.
I mean,
I kind of have a feeling it's going to be a mediocre, because they're going for this open world vampire slaying.
Yeah. So who knows? It's doubtful for now, but you never know. It could.
Yeah, it's just doubting. That's what we're doing. Yeah. Anyway, so
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Overwatch 2. That's a very random one we've got here.
Yeah. They've only released. I mean, yeah, they've released these loads of cinematic trailers and things, but no one really knows what's going on. Really. Is it a sequel? Yeah. Is it a remake sort of thing? They kind of tiptoe around what it really is. I don't know if that's to temper expectations because it's not going too well. Activision Blizzard as well, not a great company. Got bought out by Microsoft, which is interesting. Wonder where that's going to go.
Who knows, yeah. I mean, could mean free Game Pass
probably
playability on release date.
Unless they've made deals with platforms already.
It would depend, yeah. But, I mean, I'd probably go cautious.
I don't know. I'm not optimistic, to be fair. And we've just been talking about our doubts. I would say doubtful. Again, this doesn't mean it's going to be bad.
Highest end of doubtful, maybe. Yeah. It could be very good, but they just haven't really said much.
So, Saints Row. We just watched like a deep dive kind of explanation of what it really is.
Yeah.
Saw some gameplay.
And considering, have you ever played one before, Saints Row?
Actually, the Epic Games Store, as much as I dislike it, they had Saints Row 3 for free. So I gave that a go.
Did you play it?
Was it good? It was kind of off the walls, madness, shooting. It was fun. It kind of said it was like it was less wacky than 3, which is one.
Exactly. It said it was. We've not played. Apparently, I'm guessing number 2 is quite dark because it said it was not as dark as number 2, but not as wacky and kind of bouncy around as number 3. So good in the middle. And from the trailer, you get the impression
of kind of nice, gameplay looked fun.
Yeah. Nothing looked bad. It all looked good. It all looks like a kind of just fun open world experience where you can kind of do these missions that all look like they're fairly interesting. Go around, drive, customize your stuff, get crazy weapons, and have fun.
Yeah, we've played Far Cry co-op, a few of the Far Cry games,
and it looks like it's that, but with more, which is a good thing in my opinion. So I'd go very excited.
I'd go top of very excited.
Yeah, that's good for me.
Yeah,
there we go. Perfect.
Okay, Wolverine.
Right.
Pretty much seen nothing from this as well. Compared to like,
my only opinion is Insomniac, which is very good.
Yeah, we don't really know much about Wolverine.
Yeah, I mean, I know a base about the character. I've seen the first couple of X-Men films. I do want to watch the Logan movie before I play the game when it does come out.
Would be good.
But for now, I'd say very excited. Only because Insomniac is really good. We can put it at the lower end, I would say, because we haven't seen anything.
But I'd almost go cautiously optimistic, like the very top. Well, not cautious. That makes sense. We'll go here.
Yeah, because I mean, it could end up being bad, but the chance of it being bad when they've done so well with the other games are low.
Interesting choice though, Wolverine. They could have gone for Like
there's
Deadpool.
so many other
Imagine
options.
it. I feel like Deadpool would have been good.
Deadpool
Would have been
did
hard
get a
to game.
years ago.
Would have been hard to turn into a game though, because he's literally kind of invincible.
I mean, Deadpool had a game. I played it a long time ago.
Really?
Not very much. I didn't finish it. Yeah, I had like not much. I literally played it on a friend's PlayStation for a bit, and it was just kind of this mad kind of. It's just Deadpool. I mean, yeah, it was like
we could go on for ages about what superheroes would be good. I'd love to see like a Thor game. That would be fun.
Thor would be. Imagine Asgard in a game. That would be really good. Yeah.
Well, actually, Ragnarok, God of War Ragnarok, might get to go there.
Oh,
it's very possible.
Yeah, good point actually. Because in the on the table or in that, I can't remember what it's called now. The place where you travel to. Yeah, that's it. And Asgard was locked off, so you never know, it might get unlocked. Yeah, that'd be good.
That would be amazing.
But to the final game.
The final game on the list. Bethesda's first new franchise in 20 years. Starfield, a massively ambitious title, could prove to be the biggest disappointment of gaming history, or could set the standard for RPGs, open world RPGs going forward for decades.
It's a massive risk.
This could be everything, or it could be an embarrassment. This is Bethesda's chance to really redeem themselves from Fallout 76, so that they've still got it.
Well, did it.
Fallout 4 as well came before 76. I thought Fallout 4 was quite good. Not as good as Skyrim, which is unfortunate considering there's like a 5-year gap. I just don't see the appeal of the Fallout franchise that much. But Starfield, this kind of massive space colonies, loads of factions, different planets, all with civilization. It just seems it's so ambitious. You can get wrapped up in expectations and things.
They could put so much content into the game that it feels like it gets, I feel like you're going to be in the game, going to all these different planets. If it is as good as it can be, which is, like you said, very ambitious, it could be incredible. But it's just, if they limit themselves and then it's just not, if there's not much to explore and and it can just kind of kill the whole excitement, because the excitement is the fact that there's just going to be so much, because you're literally in space. So if they can't create that atmosphere, that will be the biggest problem. But if they can, then...
I mean, Bethesda's always been good at sort of building these open worlds, and I feel like worst case scenario, people are massively disappointed, but it's still a good game.
I think worst case scenario would do a Cyberpunk, in which it's still a good
massively
game,
blown out of proportion. Because I mean, Cyberpunk was the most hyped game ever. Starfield could take up that mantle.
Exactly, and then even though it's really
even
good,
if it quote unquote disappoints, I doubt it could totally flop as a game, but as a commercial success, we'll see. Cyberpunk was still a massive success commercially, despite.
I mean, it done well after it. Obviously, it got its updates recently, which I know quite a few people that I know have got it.
Yeah, and they've got these massive expansions coming out as well, still in the
hopefully they're good.
I think.
Go on.
I mean, in terms of excitement, it would be the top by far.
It could be the next big one, so I think that's fair. It might not necessarily beat, half the games on this list, but it has the potential.
In terms of expectation, I think that's fair. In terms of expectations, this is the limit.
Yeah, I mean, the others have a limit that's clear. This is
this is just in a total different ballpark compared to these two.
You can't compare.
These are sequels. They can't blow everyone away as much as
they can be amazing,
new
but they can't.
Open world.
It's entirely new, and if done well, it will be incredible. So
that would be. It could be the best game of all time.
Fingers crossed. Hopefully the delay gives them time to perfect it.
Yeah, I mean that's a good decision overall.
I mean, overall, is there anything you'd like to change after we've added more?
I think we've hit the nail on the head, really. I don't think I'd change anything there. We've got it all set out, ordered.
I'm just looking through. I mean, that's good with me. We've got a weird kind of scaling going on as well.
Yeah, upside down staircase.
So, no, I think that's a good list.